wanted the smoke, so let's bring the fire. This is the place where your idols become rivals. It's friends, foes, and all the hoes. Your hosts for Matches of Mayhem. We got Ashface Killer, the mercenary of Mayhem, with the mercenary for hire, Rodney. And you got me.
I'm on the clock.
The double agent. And we are here talking about All Stars 5 rivals. People, it's getting heated up. It's become a little bit of a habit where we got to start at the end. Because the end, they leave us off with the juiciest bits. And speaking of juicy, Aneesa and Ashley. Sorry, I had to go there. No, okay. So it ended up pretty heated. So I want to know from y'all. Let's start with Ashley, your namesake. Did she have a reason to be as heated as she was?
All right. So I was thinking, did Ashley overreact? But no, I don't think she did at all. When you're watching last week's episode, we saw Aneesa quit right on the spot. And she was saying, oh, I'm in a good position and I don't have to compete here. Like, I'm not doing this challenge. Corey tweeted out last week and said, listen, if I'm watching a show called The Challenge, I expect these challengers to compete in the challenge and not to quit. And that's what Aneesa does constantly. She relies on her friendships, and Ashley's a competitor. She's there to compete. She's there to make money. She's there to have that $1 million check, you know? So when Aneesa's not even trying, and then Ashley's just being nice and letting her go through it, and then Aneesa like just said the redneck comment and it triggered her and she blew up. But I think it was like due to pent-up aggression, and I don't think she was in the wrong.
What do you think, Rod?
Yo, I'm about to double down. I mean, you saw that conversation they had on the couch, man. You know, and we watched it again just to run it back. And Aneesa was saying something about going out there on a treadmill. And Leroy was sitting right there and was like, yo, I'll go out there with you. And she did not move. You know, but mind you, in the confessional, she drops this little note. You know, I usually work out outside the show, but in here, my strategy is, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah? So is this news? This is news to us. I mean, geez, man. And, you know, Ashley blowing up the way she did, I mean, there was no amount. They didn't need to do anything in the editing department to find it. They got all the information they need right there. She's just sitting there on the couch drinking water. I mean, come on now. You're one of the seniors in the challenge, right? Like, you of all people need to at least get up and do something. Like, don't make it look like you there on vacation, you know, because that's what they call this, right? This is the challenge vacation on the All-Stars, right? Yes, it's not a good look for her. She's been doing some questionable things and saying some stuff.
But do you think Ashley overreacted?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just saying, you know, the reason she's feeling that way is because, you know, doesn't feel that she's even put in a good position to compete, you know, and she's got some personal issues going on with the challenge, because you see, like, ever since she's won that $1 million, right, she's been, like, almost blackballed, right? Like, she comes on the show and they just immediately try to get her off. I think it happened 2 challenges in a row. The last 2 she did after that, they just kicked her right out. Right, but it's like if they're holding personal grudges against stuff that she did, I mean, so, all right, you're back. Now it's like, well, now I got a real shot to win here, and then I get tagged with the one person who just doesn't want to go make that extra effort, you know?
They did her dirty like that.
No. I gotta jump in here. Because, listen, I'm not going to sit here and make the case that Aneesa is the best competitor. The results speak for themselves. She hasn't won. So I'm not that, sorry, case closed. But I want to more talk about the shit that Ashley's talking.
Okay.
Her ego has gotten super big. Her ego is like, I'm a 2-time champ. I've been to 3 finals. Like, let's be real. The worst part of her game is her social game. She gets thrown in because she talks a lot of shit. She gets into fights, and then people throw her in. And the seasons where she makes it far is because she's able to control her, whatever it is. I don't know if it's anger or emotion, like whatever. She controls them, and she lets the alliances that she makes carry her, whether it's the Lavender Ladies or Hunter, and the Young Bucks, you know, having her back because they're on the team. Like, she needs to realize that the socialization is part of the game, because she's a good competitor. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like she's like Cara Maria or Tori. They win every challenge. She's not winning. She's like, that's none of her seasons are like that, where she's like number one every challenge, and that's why she makes it to the end. Nobody's really scared to go in against her. Like, I'm not shitting that she's not a good challenger, and she's a better challenger than Aneesa. Don't get me wrong, but she's acting like she's running around here like she's Tupac. She ain't. Like, relax. And that's the thing. Like, you're talking all this shit on Aneesa, pick me girl, alliances. Like, if you don't watch out, you're gonna pick the fight with the wrong team. You're gonna get thrown in there and sent home. So this is my team. So my advice is, yo, just get with your partner, relax. It doesn't matter if you get to the end, if you get to the final by winning challenges or by being carried by your alliances. The goal is get to the final. If Aneesa is going to get there because her friends are going to watch out for her and Ashley's going to get there because she has that protection, rock with it. But this whole like talking shit like you don't work out enough or shit like that, you're just putting a target in yourself. This arguing, you're just putting a target in yourself. So that's and we all know why that fight happened. The fight did not happen because she got called a redneck, which the fight happened because like, yo, we're not that cool, and I don't like that you're not working out, so I'm a front on you.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's all I gotta say.
How about her comment of saying, what did she say? She said, "I would rather be targeted first because I'm a threat than make it to the end because I'm easy to beat. I'd rather have 0 friends and make $1 million."
Bro, you didn't make $1 million because you had 0 friends. Let's go back to that season.
That's true.
You made it to the end because, like, literally Amanda was willing to throw her herself in with Zach. That was that season, right? Like with the Lavender Ladies, they went in because your alliance was that deep and that strong. Don't get it twisted. You were not winning every challenge that season. You never were that guy or gal. But like, she's got this ego that's like oozing right now, and I'm like, all right, girl, like, relax. You rather just make it to the end, period. Just period. Like, just make it to the end. That's it.
Not the
Yeah, but she's playing the role, right? I mean, that's just the role Ashley is. She knows she doesn't have that many friends on there. She's got her minimal alliance, you know, what's left of it now, right? And so she's got to do something to get some screen time, right? I mean, she's been gone for a long time. Even though she's won twice, she's still kind of an afterthought, right? Like, I never thought she was going to come back. I'm just being real. Like, I thought her challenge days were over.
That's why she got sent home and wasn't called back for a while, because she talked the wrong type of shit, right? Like, yeah. So now it's just the shoes on the other foot. She's getting called a redneck, and I'm like, damn, I get it. Like, you don't want to be called shit, but I mean, all right. But am I mad that she's mad at Aneesa? Nah. Come on. My man Corey. I mean, Corey, don't talk either, because you haven't won shit either. So you talking on Aneesa like you won shit. So shut the fuck up, Corey. Yeah, you ain't won shit either. You and Aneesa, same number of fucking championships. But
wait. Let me defend my baby daddy, okay? He was just talking about the whole challenge, all the challenges.
Guess what?
Saying,
You want to talk shit about
playing.
Sam, the one-time champion Sam, but you ain't got shit. Let's be real, Corey.
Damn.
Nah. Yeah. But Ashley could be like tight at Aneesa because, like, yo, climb the fucking rope. Or like the net, climb the fucking net, get over it. We're at the challenge. Do just the same way Kellyanne should be yelling at Sylvia. Do the fucking heights. Come on. But
Aneesa didn't do that either.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Everybody could hold each other accountable, but please, like, you guys don't have to yell at each other, but also yell at each other because we want to see the drama.
I loved it.
I mean, we need it.
We need it. But also, like, all this could have been handled with the conversation and instead of them overreacting and blowing up. But it's reality TV. We want it.
It's just so funny the way she got tight when she's like, my mother drove a Jaguar. We lived in, what was it? We lived in a cul-de-sac.
House.
I'm like,
you're like a flex. That's a flex.
Don't forget the high school with 3,000 students.
Right. Yep.
I mean,
and she
look.
drove a Volvo. Like, come on. Nah.
I drove a Volvo. I drove
And
a
another thing
Swedish
that pissed me off,
automobile
too-
in high school.
That ain't redneck. um, no, but there was a flashback right in the beginning of the episode, and she was like, "Oh, Sylvia, if you get frustrated, step back and listen to my redneck voice." So she even herself calls herself redneck. I mean, either way, Aneesa didn't have to call her that. Like, they really didn't have to go down this whole spiral, but I liked it. I just thought it was weird that she got mad about it, but like I said, it was just pent up aggression.
What she wanted to say
production
is,
just exposed. We had to watch it back to see that, right? Because we didn't catch that at the beginning.
yeah, no, well, what she really wanted to say to Aneesa is like, you getting too comfortable with me. You know, we can get comfortable if you come out on this treadmill with me, but other than that, do not be calling me redneck. But she, I mean,
Right.
I don't love how she turned it around, like, but yeah, Aneesa, you got too comfortable. Y'all ain't friends, you're rivals. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
It
is,
was a blow up.
I like these blow-ups. Understanding it's not good for their game. It puts a target on them back. Even Fessy's telling Ashley, like, yo, chill. Like, you have alliances. Like, they're good in this game. Fessy's looking out for them. Aneesa has Devroy. Those are the two strongest teams.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you need your rival, right? You can't do it without them.
Exactly. You're tied to them, so
Right. So if you're not gonna mesh well, then go home.
On the other hand, Kellyanne and Sylvia. Like, what was that? I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see the makeup. Was that cool for y'all?
no. That was like the worst. I was like, oh great.
Seeing
They're
them
making
make
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's Rodney's team, so he wanted
It
them to
was.
work like together. Yeah,
Right.
it was.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
The thing is, like, it would have been more fun for me if they did a truce, but we're talking mad shit behind each other's back. You don't have to, like, go from, like, worst enemies to, like, besties. That shit, I was like, ugh, that sucks. Come on, let's.
But you wanted it like Beth and John A, right?
Yeah. I want John A. is
Keep it
like,
100.
yo, I'm never talking to
We'll
this
never
bitch
be
again.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Beth was like, I'm gonna call her when I get home, and Johnny was like, yeah.
They dubbed John A. saying, yeah, call me when we get home. Like, she did not tell Beth
Oh.
that.
Shit.
Like, we didn't see her say it, so I'm gonna say that the challenge producers are like, just drop in, so it makes it seem like they're cool. And like, John A.
they
did not
good.
tell her to call her. Like, she doesn't even. Like,
Shit, yeah.
she didn't have her numbers. Like, how's she gonna call you? Like, what's she gonna do?
Right.
Right.
WhatsApp? Find you a WhatsApp.
That's it. Right.
Instagram DM.
She'd block.
FaceTime.
All right, so let's see if Aneesa and Ashley can bounce back from that turmoil. Let's take it back to the beginning in related terms and to what you were getting at, Ashley. Sam and Aneesa had this conversation about body positivity and things like that. And it looks like it's going to be a theme because Sam gassed out.
You know, so like there was just I don't know, there was different things. Like you're on a show to compete, to make money, to win these challenges. It's a show called The Challenge. We've been watching it for years. Like, you know what it's about. So if you don't want to put in the work, then I really don't want to watch you. No, I don't enjoy watching people quit. I don't enjoy people, like, that's just not fun to me. I like to see people jump off trucks and people, you know, do these height challenges and, you know.
Right. Stuff we wish we could do, right? You know?
And we don't want to see them struggle either. It's like, that's not fun for us either to like,
No.
to see people like that. And like, yeah, you hope that like Ashley or Frank can be understanding, but they're also there to they're taking time away from family, loved ones. Well, assuming family is loved ones, for some people,
Obligation.
at work, your life is put on hold to come win this money, and then you're like, somebody didn't take it as serious. You know, that could be tough, but it's a, tough situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Aneesa kept mentioning the injuries that was giving her PTSD, right? Like separating her shoulder. And I remember the year she ran the final with Jordan and she rolled her ankle, right? When they just cut across the grass. Like, I mean, them injuries alone should scare you enough to at least want to get in better shape, right? So they don't keep happening, right? Because, I mean, if she manages to make it as far as she does because of her social game or whatever, when she really has to do something, are we going to get the same issue again? You're going to have to get a DNQ or whatever they call it. You can't compete. Like, nobody wants to see that either. You know, and your body doesn't heal the same way in your 40s as it does in your 30s. So you got to keep that in mind too. Like, it's not a game out there, even though it is a game, right?
I do got a question though, why this is a bigger storyline this season than in past seasons. For a couple of examples, but you know, part of it is just like it's interesting that it's like two women on the show that they're focusing on, but you see some of these older guys from from previous seasons, and maybe that's more of an age thing than an in shape thing, but like they gas out. They're not doing as good as they used to because they're older. They're not as good a shape. And people are just like, oh, it's the old man. You know, it is what it is. He's out here competing and trying his best. Like, I'm blanking on name. Silas. Silas, he's still in shape, but he's older. And just like, there was one season where he came in and went home the same challenge. It's like, yeah, couldn't do it. And it's just interesting that the challenge decided to make that. And maybe it's because the house is making it an issue. Like maybe it's because the partners are talking about it that it became an issue this season. But that's kind of been since the beginning. All Stars brings back people. They're not in the prime of their life. They're like peak physical shape. But we understand that it's more. But now, yeah.
Than it is.
But
Yeah.
now it's an issue with Aneesa and Sam. I was just like, yo, a little shady. I'm gonna give him a little bit of bail.
It's not gonna be. Yeah, hopefully it's not gonna be a thing the whole season because
Yeah,
we get it.
well, I'm afraid.
Well, it might be until they're gone.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm afraid it might be, but we'll see. Maybe he's kindred spirits with me. You know, I'm a
Maybe Noah
big
Frank
guy. I
Blow
got
Up
the
is
big
coming,
people
right?
on my team. Let's go, both of them. I got Sam and Aneesa. I'm rocking with y'all until the wheels fall off. Literally, let's go.
Yeah.
Team E-Rock.
Oh my god, cut that shit out. Cut that part out.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm gassing out here.
We know a Frank blow up is coming at some point, right? So they're gonna have to address it,
Been close.
and they will.
It's been
you know?
close.
Let's talk about Frank.
Let's talk about Frank.
Yeah.
Yo, he had elite in the interviews this week. He did Kellyanne mad dirty. So fucking dirty.
Yo,
Are you guys
shut
mad
up.
at it though?
No, not at all. I think
Nah.
that was a moment we needed. You know.
He's
I'm like-
so diabolical, and I'm loving every minute of it. I'm like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, who's this episode's MVP? Is it Adam? Because he's like going through this whole challenge, like throwing up, vomiting, he's sick, he's got the flu.
You mean
I'm like-
I'm fan of the podcast, Adam? Some would
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
Some would say.
Hey, well, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, is he the MVP, or is it Frank who's bringing these diabolical, like, master manipulator moves and really creating the drama behind the scenes? I like it. He's really he's holding up this season right now, so I like it.
Rodney, did you like Frank when he was on the show originally?
Probably not. I mean, I saw a couple episodes. I didn't watch the entire season of it, but I remember the clips when they were showing him getting in CT's face, and you know, at that point, like CT is just like all consuming, right? So like sometimes you just automatically hate the people he doesn't get along with. So I think that's where he fell in the category for me. Like I really didn't care.
What about you, Ash? Were you a fan of his?
No, I didn't like him before. I was always like a hater because he was always so loud, and he's kind of like the Ashley is how Ashley's acting. So that's what he used to give up those vibes. But I think like right now he's literally just being very strategic with it, and even saying it, he's like, I'm playing off people's egos, like I'm feeding them what they want to hear, but in reality I don't give a fuck about them. And as
I
he
can't
should,
wait to
you know?
send you home. I'm like, shit. Yeah, so I think that's an incredible part of like his comeback, which is he went from like everybody's favorite, or like maybe not even favorite villain, and to like fan favorite villain. And part of it is because now it's about the game. The beefs that he used to get into was just like crazy beefs taking on like people, and he said it is like he maybe was insecure about the competitor he was, or just about himself. And now he's just like, nah, I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly what I want, which is 300K, and that's it. And we're rocking with that. Do what you got to do. And especially because you may not be on the strongest team, if you got to like listen to Kellyanne cry about Sylvia Sachs and then tell Devroy, yo, send the packing,
And stroke their ego.
stroke their
That's
ego.
it. Gotta do it.
Gotta do it, and I'm all here for it. That was an interesting team up, or like, I can understand why Sam and Frank want to be on Devroy's team or like alliance. But why do you think Devin and Leroy were eager to make that alliance?
I think really, well, Devin is also a mastermind at this. He plays chess. He's always 2 steps ahead. And I think he's thinking, okay, I just need to get numbers. At the end of the day, I'm friends with everybody, but I need to tell people like, hey, I got your back if you have mine. And maybe, yeah, they might not win and come in first place, but they probably won't go to steal their star. You know, they're not going to choose them because they went and did this favor. So they're like, if they get that opportunity to take one, it's not going to come from them. So I think that was just really just the protection behind it. Or say like, hey, you're always going to be on my side.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, you know, because at the end of the day, like that having that power, man, you know, you can use that as leverage, you know, to secure for future favors down the line. I mean, look, everyone they make a deal with, I don't believe is going to hold up their end of the bargain because at some point, you know, you're going to have to choose, you know, but you know, for the time being, if you set yourself up a couple times, you know, at least they can protect themselves from the House vote, right? Because that's what you don't want to get caught with, you know, because I think they're going to probably win a few more dailies throughout the season, you know, because they have a very good, basically teamwork, right? Like they work together really well. So they have that in their play. But, you know, when it comes down to the voting and stuff, that's where you got to get a little bit extra protection. So it's calculated moves.
Devin is really good at this game. So in addition to like getting numbers, I wonder if he went after the Frank and Sam alliance because he sees Frank kind of taking a position in the House where he can convince and rally numbers. Because this is the second week in a row that Adam and Steve has said their name and they were able to negotiate out of it. And he's the one who kind of led the charge to get Adam and Steve voted in the first place. So I wonder if Devin sees it as like, it's not a bad team to like get aligned with. So they may not be winning, but Frank and Sam are navigating. Frank specifically, he's putting in that extra work overtime to keep them safe in the game. And please stay as safe as long as possible because Team E-Rock needs you. Should we mention that there was an actual challenge this week?
Oh, yes, let's get right into
Ball
that.
buster.
Ball buster. How many nutsack jokes did they give us this episode? There are quite a lot. There's a lot of love shown to the testicles this week.
Yeah, it's about 9 or 10.
9 or
right?
10.
It's
I think
it's
Adam alone had
ridiculous.
like 6
Half
of them.
Yeah.
You know we love a little bit of sophomore humor, but the challenge itself, what'd you guys think?
I thought it was good actually. They had to take like 10 or they had to complete the whole mission, the whole obstacle course and get 10 balls at the other side and they had to take as many as they could carry and if they dropped it, it was out of the count. So, I thought it was really great. I liked actually who I thought did a really great job was Corey and Big T. Even though they dropped a ball, I just saw like Corey with his long legs like jumping over these little hurdles and stuff. I was like, wow, he did a great job. He impressed me a little bit. I have to say something about the challenge. Like, I don't like how they're not putting second place or third place.
Same brain.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, I was like, in the very first episode, we're like, okay, we see like the first 4 teams got their stars. And I was like, okay, they're going to tell us like who got first, second, third. I like to see stats. I like to see this. We talked about this with the flagship. Like, I want to see where my team's at. And I don't like that, okay, whoever won first, everybody drops the competition. It means that if someone knows that they're not going to do strong or they're not going to win this challenge, then they don't have to work as hard. Like, they'll work to, like, get camera time, but they're not going to work to actually compete and get first place. So
That's tough because There's a couple things we can say here. One is that they give out the stars too soon, like giving all 4 stars out on the first challenge rather than like one every week for a few weeks. You could argue yes, and like there would have been more incentive to win these next few weeks. And like if you already had one and you won another one, you could have gifted it. Like, but I think also, the people who win, the challenge, or like sorry, the people who win the elimination who don't have a star, we haven't seen it yet, have more people to choose from, to take a star away from. So there's that. And then the other thing is, I guess though, if they were to do it the way you're saying, Ash, where it's like you have to like let every team finish so we know their order, means last place, there needs to be a penalty for last place, which usually is you go right in. And then you have to decide, do we want a house vote or do we want to let the winners vote? And I think the way they're that way, you probably say, well, the winners just get safe. And then you let the house vote on who they want to throw in against the losers. But I feel like this way you get more strategy because now you have 2 teams that get picked rather than how you do in the challenge. So it's like, so what I mean is, I kind of like seeing that the house gets to vote and then the winners of the challenge have to choose somebody else. It kind of sucks that they're just picking on Adam and Steve right now because that gets boring after a while. But that's, I think, what we were the reason I'm bringing it up is that's what we were kind of missing on Challenge 40. But you only can choose from 1 of 3 teams. And here now you have the whole house and who can get the votes and stuff like that. So I'm like on the fence, to be honest. Like from what you said of, we want to see people compete, and if you don't get first, you should still try not to get last, but this format does give us more politicking.
But you can't even tell us who got second, or even if you just said the top 3 teams, like I guess it doesn't really matter. You're right, because if there's a house vote and there's the incentive is to win first place, and that's it, like, and not be the house vote or not be the winner's pick. So you want to get first place, but I'm like, damn, was my team even close?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it matters though, because I mean, for one, it's fueling laziness. You know what I mean? I mean, we're in what, at least 4 weeks in now, and when you look at that, well, was this 3rd episode?
Third episode, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, even after 3 weeks, right? I mean, you have people that potentially haven't even finished the challenge yet, right? Because if you're coming in last or not, the top ranks, right? Like they just stop the competition, and so that you're done, right? And it's just, I don't think it's a good look, toppled on the fact with, you have this quitting mentality that people are using now because they have excuses not to do it, whether it's weather or, I'm afraid of heights and stuff, and I'm not even going to go out there and try. It's just a bad look, and All Stars has dealt with that a lot. That's really their biggest problem, whether they know it or not, is just the fact that the competition is just not competing. People are quitting, walking away, or, if you get hurt or something, God forbid, but to just not do it it's ridiculous. It's not fair to any of us, really.
Yeah. Like, it'd be interesting to see what teams like are doing well or what they're struggling at. One team I was like had my eye on this week was Ashley K and Dario, because that's a team that physically is probably one of the top teams there. They're both in good shape. They both are pretty athletic, but the strategy doesn't seem to be there. Like on the last challenge, they timed out because they couldn't do the math. And here it seemed like, I don't know if they had the right strategy with the balls and stuff like that. So, like, I'm curious, like, well, are they good enough to have, like, salvaged a 2nd or 3rd place? Or were they just kind of in the middle? I thought, what maybe they could have kept is what they had last season, which there was, like, the winners, the safe zone, and then the bottom zone. And so maybe it was a mistake not to bring that back, where you could still, like, keep the middle zone of, like, maybe 2 or 3 extra teams that are safe. But then the rest of the house is up for voting. So, like you said, there's still a motivation for people to try to finish. Because like you said, Aneesa, when she saw she wasn't going to win, seemed like she was able to. Sam kind of stopped when she saw that she wasn't going to catch up. I don't know if there was other. Oh, Veronica and Katie, which, Yeah, but I mean, like, don't get last. Don't, or like, yeah, so it's tough.
It goes back to the Corey tweet, right? I'm watching the challenge and I want to see competitors compete. And so, but I guess even Corey says this too. And the rest of the tweet is like, this is not the flagship. So you got to take it for what it is.
Let's be careful though, because we already got, like, I don't want to say more drama, but we got some funner drama minus bananas from than 40.
Then 40.
Yeah, no, you're right.
He, like, that's like Frank sees this like, man, I might not be, my team might not be able to compete the way we want to, so we're gonna have to do it some other ways. And I can't wait to throw you in. I love Frank this season.
Yeah, see, and I think even TJ realizes that, right? Like the All-Stars, even if it's not the flagship, right, it's still the All-Stars, right? Like that show has potential. It gets good enough numbers, and he knows this, right? So for people to go out there and just not do it, yeah, he should be pissed off, right? Because you're wasting another opportunity, right? This is another potential income stream for good challenges, right? To at least have another shot to compete for more prize money, right? And why would you risk that? Because if MTV decides to pull a plug on All Stars after 6 seasons or however many they want to go with it, or not renew the contract, whose fault? Who are you going to blame for that, right? It's going to be everyone who went up there and decided they're not going to do anything.
I want to link that back to, like, or relate that to, well, it'll make sense. Like, I don't know if you guys listen to Zach's podcast, on the challenge. I only see I'm not a patron. I'm sorry. I only see the free clips.
Yeah, me too.
But good shit for those guys. Zach has said he's not invited back because production doesn't like him. And when I hear that shit, it's like, yo, get over yourself. Do you want to run a good production? Or do you want to make good TV? Like, Zach is good TV. He's a dick, but he can compete. And he causes some drama, and he would be perfect for this All-Stars because he'll get.
And he's actively promoting the show.
He's actively promoting the show, which is love CT more than you can say about CT, who's like somebody like who gets compared as like production loves him, but he doesn't do shit for the show. He's just CT, and he has a fan base and shit like that. So I kind of like get pissed when I hear those stories like. I don't care if he doesn't treat you nice. He's, sorry, that's your job. Like, make the show interesting. So I just heard that. I'm like, come on, man, bring him on. Like not even because I love him as a person on the show. Like sometimes I can't stand him, but like he's in shape. He's a good competitor, and he also doesn't mind getting in the mix. He would have been good on this season. Yo, almost all of his San Diego castmates are on here from the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Sick, right?
No, it's not sick for him. He's probably upset.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it would have been a great fit. You know what I mean? Like it's a blown opportunity.
So anyway, I just want to go on that sidetrack, which is just like, I get it. I love to see my faves, but also to 0-time champion Corey's perspective, like we want to see like good competition too. 3-time daddy though, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
3-time daddy.
You are.
Damn.
Almost 4. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's so all right, right before elimination, the rumblings in the house. It's gonna be Adam and Steve again. Adam's going through it. He's sick, so he goes to the house vote and says, let me get a week off. If you need to take, I think they were going to say, if you need to take a star, take our star. No repercussions. And the house said, go fuck yourself. And they still voted him in. What do you guys think about that move?
I like it because he sold the story, because what did Steve say when they was talking, right? He's like, it'll be a great storyline.
Mm-hmm.
He's right. You know what I mean? If they went in there looking like they were begging for mercy, right? And then they still come out victorious, make it to the final, possibly win this thing somehow. I mean, they're only going to look better. You know what I mean? So it's nothing to lose at that point. And, to be real, Adam knew they was going to go in. That's why he even said, like, oh, we go to work, right? Because they have no choice. You know, they have very little numbers, if any, right? And, you know, they're already perceived as a strong team, the strong team that needs to go because they don't have the numbers. So they know they're in until they're out. So own it.
I hope that they're not targeted all the time, but they have the least amount of connections, so it just makes sense to. And people are just scared to ruffle the feathers in the house or say somebody else's name. I was a little shocked that Nicole and Melissa said it, but I guess their like backs were against the wall at this point, and they didn't have like a Johnny and Beth to like throw it to. So, but yeah, I was okay with it. I mean, it sucks. They were sick, but is what it is.
I was not okay with it. I was not
No?
okay with it. Y'all remember last season when Leroy was like, he won elimination and he went to Adam, was like, yo, if I don't take your star, will you? And Adam was like, nope, go fuck yourself. I'm not making no deals. And Leroy took his star anyway. But I want that ruthlessness. I want Steve's ruthlessness to say, y'all vote us in. We're going to send you home one by one. Go fuck yourselves. Keep voting us in. Watch. You don't want none. And I want them to take that. They need to strike fear into these people's hearts that if you vote me in, guess what? We'll call you out and we'll send you home one by one. And you know why? Because they're all layups. They don't have to be scared of who they're going in
Right.
against.
Right.
They asked for Frank and Sam. Kellyanne and Sylvia aren't that much better. And you can keep giving them the layups because ain't no way Devroy or Turbo or Fessel are going to get voted in right now. Like, nobody's got the balls to do it. So they just got to be like, hey, if I was them and knowing this, you know, I'll be like, fuck the challenge. Like, he should have just sat out, recovered from his illness and said, fuck y'all, I'll see you in elimination and I'll send one of you home. I'd like, be ruthless, strike some fear into, because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. The
That would have
house.
been such good TV if they would have been.
He has
like,
it in him too.
You put me in.
He has it. We know Adam has it in him to just be like, double middle fingers up. Let's go. He did it to Steve last season. Like,
Right. Sit on it
Sit
and
on
spin.
this.
sit on his
Yeah,
face.
exactly. Exactly.
Going back to the elimination, who did Corey get pissed at because they said they said his name?
Katie.
Katie and Veronica.
Yo, what was that? Yo, Corey.
Just
Nothing.
say you want to say my name, like, bitch, you're not even relevant.
Right.
Like,
Nothing.
Bro,
It was just
why is he trying to make it a
dab of
thing?
screen time? That's all.
yeah.
He was just trying to get
Yeah.
some screen time. You know.
But he just does it in such like the worst game way. Come on, Corey.
Right.
Like he's like,
Yeah.
like nobody cares to say your name. Like, nobody's thinking.
If you want to say my name, just say it.
It's not like you placed third or fourth, I think. So, like, shut up.
Was
Right.
it? Did it? Like,
You're not even the most popular Corey on the challenge. What are you doing?
That part.
What are you doing?
man, that was funny. We get the elimination. We talked a little bit about this last week where they mixed it up. Guy teams, girl teams, and then mixed gender teams, which the chatter has been is like it's a little bit unfair. But to be honest, I thought this elimination was pretty fair. I don't think it really favored Adam and Steve. It really was just about getting the puzzle done first, so you can go and pick up those ropes faster. But what do y'all think about it?
I would say the only disadvantage that a woman team would have would be the strength to hold up the rope and how heavy it would be versus a guy. Like, they have the advantage there. But you're right, a puzzle's an equalizer. If they would have completed it quicker, they would have had less rope to hold, and it wouldn't have been so heavy, and they could have gotten the 5 minutes over with right away. I think it was a fair advantage of anybody's game, but they didn't do the puzzle fast enough.
They got it right with the mixed gender teams this season. And you could just see it, right? Like, there's nothing really strenuous that a male would be physically dominant in, at least nothing we've seen yet, right? I mean, they were carrying balls on the daily today, right? So there was nothing there. You know, obviously maybe a little bit of agility in terms of climbing up the net and everything, but you know, that stuff everybody can do. So I mean, I think they were very careful with all of the dailies and the eliminations they've chosen just to make sure that there's no clear advantage there, you know. So, I mean, that part of I think has been a really well as far as like from the eye test, right? When you just watch, you don't really see any indication where you're like, man, like the guy teams are really going to have an advantage here. Even the elimination we watched with Beth and John A, right? We thought they were actually gonna win because they were smaller, right? That benefited them in that situation. They're doing a good job of making it fair. I don't feel any issues with the teams this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think this elimination just came down to Steve doing that puzzle 1,000 times before, I guess, on his phone. So, luck of the draw, I guess. Don't send him in. He's working those beautiful hands on these puzzles all day. Don't send him in. Adams could take you out with a respiratory infection. Man. Don't send him in every time. Let's see some new matchups there. Rodney, look away because this was a rough week for you.
Brutal.
All right. Here's our scoreboard for our fantasy league this week. And very interesting, Rodney. You had the winning team in Devroy, and yet somehow you still got minus points. Brutal. It just came down to Sylvia and Kellyanne. Right? They lost and they got sent home, and they were crying up a storm, talking about their kids. And so could have been worse. But you had the winning team this week. So we'll round it out. Nora get in the positive this week, but still catching up. Raquel and I are dead even now at 0, and then Victor took a little bit of slide back. But Ashley, shit, all right, both your teams are safe. Both your teams didn't cause any ruckus. They didn't kill each other. So I guess that's all you can hope for right now. It's just like, just make it through.
Gee, I'll take it. I like it. I like my season total.
Rod, you got the first casualty of the season. Still a lot of game left. But
hopefully that's it.
yeah. If Devroy looks like they're gonna make it pretty far, so nothing to see there. And I got Aneesa and Ashley fighting, but it seems like all the fights this season also end in tears, so it's like canceling each other out.
That's the worst.
Yeah. I need some turbo fights. I need some turbo getting in people's faces. How about Turbo and Shane getting into a shouting match?
Be good.
I'll take Turbo with anybody except Nani, right?
Shit, I'll take some inner team turmoil. Maybe that'll wake Nani up.
I don't want that.
So
that's funny.
That's our update. Any predictions or things you want to see before we log off here?
So we don't watch the spoilers for the next episode. However, a few seconds did run over, and I saw a semi pulling people. So I'm excited for next week because I love when they're jumping off trucks. So yeah, I'm hyped for that. But that's all I saw.
When I see semis on the challenge, I get a semi. So I'm excited.
I knew that was coming. Where's the Ayo counter?
Hey, you. I think we'll see. We'll see what happens with Aneesa and Ashley. That seems to be bubbling. I don't remember. I'm not going to do any spoilers here, but I think just like I kind of alluded to just now, Turbo has been pretty calm this season, but we know Turbo doesn't stay calm, and it just takes a little bit to trigger him. So something's got to give eventually.
When you poke the pussy chicken,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's super chill, right?
Yeah. I also want to see a little bit more of Devin. I mean, Devin is one of our flagship stars. He's on All Stars. Maybe either some beefs or some jokes. Let me see some jokes because he's a funny guy too. So let's get some more Devin. Come on, challenge. Edit it right now. Edit it. Get more Devin next episode.
That's right.
I like that they've been giving Leroy a lot of bits too, man.
Gotta be careful.
It takes a lot to.
Yeah, he did that funny bit with if I had the money. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What I be doing?
Strip club, taxes, or whatever. He's like strip club.
Taxes. He's like
no, not taxes.
Since when the strippers got taxes? God damn.
No, gambling. shit.
Gambling.
8.5% on this lap dance. What the?
Not taxes.
Nah, I was gonna say you gotta be careful because Lever starts talking. He talks about those kids, so we don't want to lose any points. Anybody? We're not against kids here, but this is not a family show. And let's keep it
Right.
that.
It's completely not.
Challenge keeps thinking this is a family show. I'm not watching this with my little ones. -1 for me.
Nah.
But I'm not watching this with my little ones. Let's make it PG-19, NC-17.
Yeah.
No, less heartfelt, more ruthlessness. Frank's got the right idea.
Yeah. Give us more, Frank.
There was more Frank. So fun pod, guys. But I can't wait to send you home. Bye.